Hello, it's Colette. I'm so excited. Another book, Karma City Ouija Tarot by Colette Brown. Oh, look at the cover. Isn't that amazing? Totally iconic Glasgow with Finiston Cran there. Oh, so those of you that follow my books know that in 2012 there was a book out called Ouija Tarot Life of a Foolish Man. Now, this is actually a second edition of that book, but with a story behind it. Basically, this book had been a long time in the making for me. I had loved the idea of setting the tarot archetypes in the East End of Glasgow because my English teacher, God love her, Miss McElwee, always said you should write about what you know, and the things I knew about were the tarot and Glasgow. So I had an inkling of wanting to move forward and place the fool's journey of tarot in the East End of Glasgow. And after I had my first Mind, Body, Soul book published with John Hunt Publishing, I put forward the idea as more of a teaching book and as non-fiction. And it was published and it came out with a yellow cover, Ouija Tarot Life of a Foolish Man. And it was being read more as fiction, just a story of one man's life in Glasgow from 1961 to almost the present day. And more and more it was becoming popular with expats, like it was selling more in Australia than it did in, the UK or whatever. And eventually came to think that, the Mind, Body, Soul publisher, who amazing, I've got quite a few of my other books with them, but wasn't quite the right publisher for this Ouija fiction novel. So I have been lucky enough because of my contract to actually get my rights back, and Ouija Tarot, which was the yellow book, has now been relaunched as Karma City Ouija Tarot. And I'll just read you this little blurb on the back. It says, the tarot is the story of the fool and his journey through life, learning, gaining knowledge, becoming wise and spiritually aware. Then he starts it all over again in another life. Some lives are easier than others. Eddie Riley was born in the East End of Glasgow in 1961 into a life of poverty, crime, old firm rivalry and smoked sausage suppers. It was also a life of love, friendship, family and paradise. The fool was born a Ouija. It could have gone better. So basically, Ouija Tarot is out now as a novel in fiction category and is called Karma City Ouija Tarot. The reason we went for a new title was because it just felt right. We wanted to have Ouija Tarot, and this certainly comes up as volume 1 because there's more to follow in 2017 for those of you that kind of fall in love with the main character. And because the book's been out 4 years initially, a lot of people did fall in love with Eddie Riley, who is the fool who is born in Glasgow. He's a Ouija. And this was a problem also in the United States when the first book came out, the first version of the book came out, because Ouija was seen to be to do with Ouija boards, which it's not. A Ouija is simply the shortened form of the kind of name for Glaswegians. We're Ouijas. It's as simple as that. And it's a funny name, and if it's said in a derogatory way, well, sometimes we don't like it. But I wouldn't say that many people that were born in the outskirts of Glasgow or whatever would actually mind being called a Ouija. I mean, my Aberdonian friends call us all Ouijas, even though we live more in South Lanarkshire now. But we're basically Ouijas at heart. I adore the cover. We've got the Finiston Cran with some Glasgow landmarks in the background, and the book just is now everything I've wanted it to be. It was before. The story's the same, but it's now out for an audience that wants to read about Eddie's life, and It's not autobiographical, but there is a lot of my own experiences in there. Um, and those who know me will probably understand the bits maybe about pharmacy, and certainly some of every chapter is headed with a tarot card from the major arcana, you know, the Fool in his journey, and the Magician, and the Empress, and the Lovers, and the Tower, and Death, and the Devil, and the Sun. And each is Eddie reminiscing or reminiscing about things that have happened in his life. So it's his story, but also because it flows with time, you also get his opinions on things that are going on, things like Scottish independence, and also the Twin Towers. The attack on the Twin Towers, which is my Tower card, and it's under the Tower. The reason I'm so happy about this is I think I've got 8 or 9 books out now, and Weegie has always been closest to my heart. It's part of me. A lot of the stuff that's in it come from my experiences of working as a pharmacist in the East End of Glasgow, which I loved and worked there for many, many years. The warmth of the people, the humour of the people, had me in stitches most days, and the characters were amazing. And the book certainly has its moments, because there's a justice card, and there's a moon card, and there's a lot of things about Eddie that initially you won't like, but it's written with a lot of humour, and it's written with quite a lot of social context going on, a lot of information about poverty, about communities and the way that they come together, the good and the bad. And there's a lot of pop culture in it about various things that have gone on since 1961 up to near recent times. And people have loved that in it, and certainly enjoyed Eddie's take on it. You see, Eddie has lived a life in the East End that he did a lot of things, good and bad. And a student at Glasgow University has been asked to interview him and put him on a little dictaphone to study the effect of poverty and a sort of degree of isolation in the East End of Glasgow for her sort of dissertation for her history and politics degree. So he is talking to Claire, the student, for her dissertation the whole way through it. Sometimes directly because she's there visiting, and sometimes maybe late at night when he's a wee bit drunk and he's got the little dictaphone. And that I like the times where he's talking to Claire, but I like the times that he's a wee bit drunk and talking to the dictaphone, we get a wee bit more of the inner Eddie coming out. Also, it's good to juxtaposition Eddie and see the difference between the West End of Glasgow student, well-to-do, with a lot of life possibilities that maybe aren't in his own community. So there's a lot of sort of East End and West End. And yes, there's the Old Firm because Eddie is a football fan. And there's friendship, and there's love, and there's music, and there's fun, and there's sadness, and there's the growing spiritual part of Eddie, because he is the Fool. He has had many, many reincarnations, but when he's born in the East End and this life, he's forgotten who he is. He's forgotten all these other incarnations, and he's starting from scratch, but with the odd past life memory and the odd feeling that there's more to life. And that's why I enjoyed writing the book. It was the sense of a very ordinary character who is also very extraordinary. And I absolutely love this. I could go on about Eddie Riley forever, and there's a few of my friends, colleagues, Facebook friends, etc., that actually fell in love with him. I had a lovely review from someone in the States who actually thought he was real and that I was Claire and I had interviewed him, and I took that as a great compliment that he was so real that somebody didn't realise that he was a made-up character. He's you, he's me, he's anybody that maybe has maybe started off in a council scheme or has started off in a place that is not as well to do as other areas in Glasgow. And the joy and the progress that can come from finding your way through that. It's one of my daughters, my younger one, says she's seen a different side to me because there's some bits in the book she found very dark. And then I wrote Fortune Killer, and then she found that even kind of darker. So there's bits in it that, you know, are a bit gritty, but they're part of his life, just like the good things are part of his life. And I thoroughly enjoyed writing it. And actually, when I got the rights back, I thoroughly enjoyed reading it again. It was like it was new to me, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'd forgotten that bit. So it's beautiful now to have this book out as fiction. It's urban contemporary fiction. I'm so happy to have Glasgow on the front. Although this could be Eddie could have been born in any urban environment. You know, this could be downtown Brooklyn. This could be a man that grows up in the wrong side of the railway tracks in an American city. It's a book about our spirituality in a kind of urban background. So it could be any city, but for me, it's got to be Glasgow because I'm a Weegie and I'm not going to write about another city, or maybe I might. You'll just have to wait and see. So please, if you liked the book first time round, please help spread the word about it. Also, please review it if you could. Avoid any yellow covers because they are much more expensive, and also they should be unavailable by the time this is launched. And if you are getting a book, you'll be getting it at a higher price, and also there's some differences in it. Excuse me, that's my dogs having a wee go. So, Ouija Tarot, its new title is Karma City Ouija Tarot, and it's out now via Amazon, all Amazon territories, and also on Kindle. And remember, you don't need a Kindle to be able to download it. You just need a Kindle program for your computer or your phone or your tablet. Okay, so please help me with this. Let's get the word out there, and I hope you enjoy it. And please support my book because it's very close to my heart. Many blessings. Bye now.